Okay, this is Chapter 7, Critical Thinking Questions for Race, Ethnics, and Diversity class. And the first question is, how much time do you recall spending in schools thus far learning about history of Europe or Africa? What do you think this says about the way education is delivered or what we choose to learn? It's been about 20 years since I have been in high school, and I know that I am learning more now about American history than I did in school back then. I wasn't taught much. I'm learning much more now. I feel that when I was in high school, certain things just weren't taught. Some of the material that we're taught today, I had a choice in which history class I took my senior year of high school, and I ended up taking medieval history, so I didn't learn much about Africa or about European history. And the second question is, what would you consider the three most important achievements in civil rights for African Americans since the 1900s? The Niagara Movement, which is an organization of black intellectuals led by Du Bois, calling for full political, civil, and social rights for black Americans. The Niagara Movement was the forerunner for the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the African American Civil Rights Movement, 1955 to 1968, which was aimed at outlawing racial discrimination against African Americans and restoring voting rights for them. And the third one, I think, is the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that banned discrimination based on race, color, religion, or national origin, or the employment practices and public accommodations. I also think that Brown versus the Board of Education and the Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus boycott are also important. And then the third one is, a growing number of blacks are immigrating to the United States, especially to the eastern states of the Caribbean. What impact might this have on what it means to be black or African in the United States? And what would the social construction of race say about the development? From Africa to the Caribbean, this is all the more dramatic because there has been little immigration of the black people to the United States for the first 100 years of the Civil War. After the Civil War, the world's black population was acutely aware of how people of color had been treated in the United States. Improved living conditions for black people made the United States an attractive destination for black people, as it had been for generations for people of Europe. And nearly 2/3 of Caribbean blacks live in either New York City or Miami. These new immigrants experience all the problems of transitioning into a new society experienced by other immigrants, yet these black immigrants are confronted by a social society still deeply divided by race. That's all I have. Thank you.